Hi, this is Peter Schaeffing from High Impact Financial Analysis with your High Impact Moment of the Day. I just got my copy in the mail of Let Us Put Our Money Together. It's a story of the founding of America's first black banks. This book is available for free from the Kansas City Fed. So if you write to them, we'll put a link in the comments so you can go get it yourself if you want. And it got me thinking I'd love to share a top 5 list. What are my 5 community development books that I recommend to the industry? So in no particular order, I'll start with the one that's on my desk already. This is Cliff Rosenthal's recent book, Democratizing Finance. A fantastic book so far. It's in the office because I've been chipping away at it at lunch. I think it would be a fun read for anyone who was part of the movement and wants to kind of relive it. Very fun for me and very informative and important, I would say, for me and for other younger folks in the industry, because this is really a book that fills in a lot of the blanks and gives me a stronger foundation in what the industry is built on. There's so much in here. You know, I feel like so much started in 1993 with the CDFI fund came about. Reality is, there were 30 plus years of work that was built upon. Next up, another hardcore industry book. It's called Investing in What Works for America's Communities. This is another Fed book. The Federal Reserve of San Francisco published this in collaboration with LIF. Several years old now, but there's a lot of really instructive essays in it from practitioners in the field. I think there's a lot of really good ideas to build on still, and a lot of good inspiration for your work in community development today. All right, now I'll reel off a few that are a little bit different. This is a great book, A True Tragedy, The Short and Tragic Life of Robert Peace. So this reads kind of as a fiction. It's a very readable book, but it's a true story about a man born outside of Newark, New Jersey. Lived in very tough circumstances, but made it out of the city, made it to Ivy League school, came back to the city to teach, but fell back into drug dealing, ends up killed. Even though I kind of gave up, the ending of the story, the ending. But it is such a compelling read, and I think a very important book for someone who is in our industry but does not have, the personal lived experience of being in those types of conditions or knowing, friends and family who have had those types of experiences. This was a book that really viscerally hit me and helped me kind of start understanding that. Next one on my list is Small is Beautiful, E.F. Schumacher. This is kind of a classic of sustainability economics and sustainability field more generally. I don't necessarily subscribe to every single idea in the book, but I think that the theme is very important and so relevant today, even though this is the oldest book on my list, and something that can help you as you continue to conceptualize what is your philosophy on community development, on economic development more generally. And the last one, number 5, is Muhammad Yunus's Banker to the Poor. This is arguably the book that started me on the path of community development finance. I think a lot of people get inspiration from Muhammad Yunus. He is, of course, known generally as the founder of microfinance or the father of microfinance. And reading his story of how, he pursued a really innovative way to get capital to, very, very low income people, no income people in Bangladesh, in some cases, is really interesting. And there are valid criticisms out there of microfinance and even of his work specifically, but it's hard not to read that story and be inspired by the creativity, the drive, and just the commitment and the philosophy that underlies his life's work. So those are my 5 community development books for you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, your thoughts on these books, and especially if you have other books that you suggest that we put on this list, I'd love to hear that too. I've got too many books in my house, too many books on my reading list, but one day I will get to all of them. We'll see. But share your thoughts below. Thanks.